Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Broku. Welcome back to the channel. This week is a review of Black Clover chapter 242. And yeah, it's pretty much picking up from the last week's chapter of 12 Black ASTA'S rushing towards Dante. I do want to say, guys, that I have been a little bit sick. It's just a cold. I don't have the coronavirus. So, yeah, my nose is a little stuffy, so I'm going to sound, not normal. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But I'm going to get into a summary of the chapter review and talk about the analysis, what kind of this means for the story, power scaling as well. So basically, I pretty much predicted exactly what was going to happen, is that Dante was not going to be able to take on 12 Black ASTA'S in his base form. He was going to need to activate a lot of his devil power, and that's exactly what he did. He activated 50%, he grew horns, his mark grew bigger, he got a symbol on his chest, and he grew his wings. And you can even see the mana is emanating towards his arms and down towards his torso, and his eyes are now glowing. And so that just means that base Dante, or whatever percentage he was using before, could not defeat 12 Black ASTA'S. Kind of predicted this would happen. And what he does is he uses his gravity to warp space, so that when the ASTA'S went towards Dante, it was almost like going through spatial magic, and they just came out different ways than they were supposed to, meaning Dante was not going to get touched. And basically, after this, Dante would then just put his boot on ASTA'S back and knock him to the ground. And yeah, this is just Dante chatting out over ASTA. Dante is way stronger. It's basically what he says. Our ranks are different, but we're both possessed by devils. And Dante wants to talk, but Asta really isn't having any of it. He says that, the way you treat the Spade people, we're never going to see eye to eye. And Dante, he takes being called evil as a compliment, and that basically animals have no malice, only humans do, and that's why humans are so evolved. And they just keep going back and forth and back and forth. Asta gets mad. He boots Asta down to the ground again. And then Rouge steps in, the fate cat of fate protection manipulation. Vanessa's like, you're not killing anybody. And Dante's kind of pissed off. He says, you are my woman. That means you can't use that power for anyone besides me. And Dante amps himself up to 60%. This causes Vanessa to run out of mana. And pretty much Rouge is deactivated, meaning anybody can die in the Black Bulls now. I'm going to talk about this because, people were saying, oh, Vanessa is not that strong anymore because of this, or Dante can go against fate manipulation. Well, the thing is, guys, is that it's always been that Vanessa and her fate manipulation is tied to her mana amount. Remember, not only has she been using this spell several times, but Henry is technically sapping her magic throughout the course of the battle. And then Dante, it's seemingly, if you look at her before she said, oh, he took all my magic and I canceled out Rouge, her sweat was going upwards, which meant that the gravity was likely affecting her, and he probably used his gravity to further dissipate the mana that she was using. So yeah, this wasn't him just going against directly fate manipulation. Vanessa had been using her power over and over again. Henry is sapping her mana. There is no Charmy to recover her mana stores, so therefore she runs out of mana. Red Thread of Fate is still so far completely unstoppable unless if Vanessa runs out of mana. That's the only reason here. If Charmy was here, this would be a completely different battle. If the whole Black Bull squad, this is what I see people on Twitter saying, like, oh, the Black Bulls are getting wiped out just like the Golden Dawn. Not just like the Golden Dawn, guys. There's only 5 Black Bulls here. For the Golden Dawn, pretty much everybody was there, except for Yuno was late, Mimosa wasn't there. We don't know for sure if Longros was there or not. But the Black Bulls, they only have 5 out of their 14 members. If they had Sekret, they'd have a healer. If they had Charmy, they'd have all their mana stores. If they had everybody, Henry would be a boss because he'd have all of their magic. If they had Finral, you don't think Finral would help in this battle? Yami? Imagine Ghost doing Mir Brigade on Yami. Yami activates Mana Zone. There's 12 Mana Zone Yamis running around with Dimension Slash. But this makes it a completely different battle. And not only that, but the Black Bulls are going against Dante. He's stronger than Zeno. So, don't like that comparison. But anyways, what happens next is he activates his gravity, completely destroys Henry's base, and then puts Gauche, Gray, and Vanessa against the wall. He's pinning them down from all sides. He activates a spell, Gravity Magic, Evil God's Pressure Craft. He creates a sword out of the earth. And he's doing this to wake up Asta's true feelings. He stabs Gauche. Gauche is seemingly dead. This awakes Asta up. We get a weird sort of flashback thing. It is a person bleeding from the chest and the mouth, reaching a hand out, and it says, "My dear son," with a heart below that. Asta then activates Black Divider. Dante sees this, reacts to it, barely escapes. And then Dante's excited from this, and Asta is now in his newest black form. It's the strongest one. His other wing is coming more present, even though it's smaller. He has 3 horns. He has claws on his right hand and his right leg. And he has a tail like the other devils. So this is going to be Asta's strongest form. His face is also more messed up than normal. He's even drooling in this. Asta is going to go berserk here. I wonder what's going to happen. This could be bad, but I think that he'll probably come under control somehow. And, yeah. So, depending on how Asta does against 60% Dante is going to be how he kind of scales. So, to remember is that Black Asta is below Dante. 12 Black Astas is above Dante, but 50% Dante is above 12 Black Astas. But we can actually potentially argue that this version of Black Asta is like 12 times stronger than regular Black Asta, because, you know, if 50% Dante could go against 12 Black Astas and, you know, be fine, but he's running away from 60% against this Black Asta, you know, Dante might be kind of going against a formidable foe here. So we might get a pretty big multiplier for this version of Black Asta. So that was a good chapter. Overall, I'll give it probably a 9 out of 10. Hyped to see what happens next. Want to know more about that little flashback panel. Yeah, it's a flashback. Somebody bleeding in the chest and the mouth, reaching their hand out, saying, "My dear son." The text in the "My dear son" is in a heart shape. And is this Asta's father? Gonna be interesting to see. As for Gauche being dead, I don't really buy it. I think it's 50-50 at this point. Everybody's saying, "Oh, Gauche is gonna die. There's nobody around to save him." Guys, at any point, Fenrir could just show up with Sekre. At any point. Maybe Sally will show up with a magic item. That's a fiction. Anything can happen. Is he probably gonna die? I think it's a bit more likely than not, but people acting like he's 100% dead need to stop. Honestly, it's kind of a good thing if Gauche dies. It does suck because it makes the Black Bulls way less overpowered without the use of Mirror Brigade. But he's not only a strong Black Bull, but an important member who's had a character arc, great development, been in multiple fights. For him to die, it's going to be a huge progression for the Black Bulls as like going forward. But I kind of hope he doesn't die, just because, you know, I love his magic. I love Mirror Brigade. Imagine if Asta, when he masters this expanded form of the Black form, and then Gauche does Mirror Brigade on that. It's going to be crazy. But honestly, I think what might happen here is Gauche gets killed. Black Asta, he does fine against Dante, but Dante uses even more power and wins. And then he captures Vanessa. So it's like Asta got defeated, Gauche is dead, and then you have Vanessa being captured because Dante wants to marry her, and he wants her because she's arcane. She can basically bend natural laws. This would be huge motivation for Asta. Be kind of like what Yuno's going through. Yuno got his ass clapped, and he got half the squad just squad wiped. Half the squad is dead. The Golden Dawn, and then you have probably some deaths happening with the Heart Squad against Vonica. You know, I have been saying for a few weeks that I think that one of the Dark Triad is probably going to lose in their first fight against the Clover Heart Coalition, whatever you want to call it. But it might not happen. You know, we had Zeno clapping the Golden Dawn, and then you have Dante doing well against a not even half full Black Bull squad. But I don't see Dante losing because he's the leader. And then Vonica, it's weird to see her lose because she has Magicula, the devil who was supposed to be like the main villain. but she's also going against a much tougher opponent. I think she brought 5 Dark Disciples with her, and then you have Lower Pachika, the Heart Queen, who is a mana zone that can cover the entire country, and the Water Spirit. You have a Noelle Valkyrie armor, who's probably stage 0, 5 stage 0 Spirit Guardians, a captain who's been training for 6 months, Leopold and Luck, who are freaking bosses now, Charmy, if she ever accesses her Dwarven form, Mimosa. They should do quite well, unless if these Dark Disciples are way above the Dark Disciples that attacked the Golden Dawn base. So, I don't know. I feel like now, if any Dark Triad's going to lose, it's going to be Vonica, but also be weird because she has Magicula. But maybe that's just going to be a triumph for Noelle in the beginning. She's going to be one of the triumph, while, of the big 3, it's Asta, Noelle, and it's even in the first color panel of this chapter. It's like the cover. Maybe Noelle's the only one to win of the trio. Asta lose, lose. Not only do they lose people. Loses half his squad. Asta loses Gauche, and then Vanessa is captured. So this brings motivations and things to happen later. Maybe a retrieval arc. Maybe it's going to lead to Asta, and Noelle finally doing a 3-way team up in their transformations against the Dark Triad. That's probably something I could see happening. But yeah, I hope Gauche doesn't die, but it would be kind of a good thing. I just also need to say, just because he's been stabbed in the chest doesn't mean he's dead. Is he fucked up right now? Yeah, he's fucked up right now. Doesn't mean he's dead, though. Just think of one solution. I saw this right now. This wasn't before the recording. Have somebody attack Gauche with a magic. Like, have Vanessa use her threads or something. And have Gray change it to healing magic. And then the healing magic just hits him right in the chest. That's one solution right there. And they don't need any other external factors to happen. Have Henry just fucking throw one of his bricks at Gauche. And then Gray turns that into healing magic. Or she turns that sword that's inside of him into healing magic right there. Because that is magic right there, probably. Even though it was used with physical objects, it's affected by magic. So, turn it into a healing sword, Gray. I mean, Gauche doesn't have to be dead. Is he probably going to die? I think it's a bit more likely than not. But it's not a for sure thing, and people are acting like it. Had a sword stabbed in his chest and was left for dead. And half the Golden Dawn was killed, and then all of a sudden William's spell comes out of nowhere. Things can come out of nowhere. This is a magic fantasy shonen series. Gauche doesn't have to be dead. And so I just want to nail that right there. Do I want him to be dead? No. And yes. I prefer not, but it still would be a good thing if he died for character development of the Black Bulls, motivations, make us dislike Dante and the Dark Triad even more, build up a more threat, a sinister threat. They'll kill people, the Black Bulls. The Black Bulls are not invincible. So, overall, really good chapter. Interesting to see what's going to happen next. How's Asta going to fare against Dante at 60%? Seems like he's already going to do fine. Dante's probably going to access more power, though. And then, when are we going to see Noelle and the Heart Squad take on Vonica and her Dark Disciples? That's going to be interesting to see as well. And how Noelle will do, because she has a personal stake in this matter. So, I honestly hope that it doesn't come to Laura Pachika dying and then Noelle getting the Water Spirit. I honestly would prefer that Noelle doesn't, or if she does, it's at the very end of the series. She still needs to learn a Mana Zone. Well, she might already know it because she's been training, but also to see her using runes or the symbols of the Heart Kingdom to amplify her magic. I want to see that. This is one random thought I was thinking of. Just random. Nothing to support it, but has a sword that absorbs other people's magic. Asta has a sword that absorbs other people's magic. Noelle has a lance. Will she develop that to be able to absorb people's magic? That would be fitting with the trio of the big 3 of Black Clover. Noelle, and Asta. 2 of them already have that so far. Is Yuno going to get something like that? Is Noelle going to get something like that? If she has superb mana control within her own, aura, like what showed with the lance, then maybe she could take people's magic that goes trying to attack it and absorb that, and kind of does the same thing. That's just one thing I was thinking about. Nothing to support it. Just throwing that out there. But anyways, guys, what are your thoughts down below? Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe. You guys all have an amazing day. Plus...